that's not how this works.
But the customer is always right.
Not in this case.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're looking at movies released between 2020 and 2024 that exceeded everyone's expectations critically and financially.
Not salsa, not flamenco, my brother.
Do you know not to?
Number 10, Civil War.
Well, you're American, okay?
Okay. What kind of American are you?
From Ex Machina to Annihilation, a new Alex Garland film is always cause for anticipation. Given its subject matter, though, we expected Civil War to split people down the middle. While we wouldn't call this dystopian thriller a crowd pleaser, we wouldn't describe it as polarizing either. In fact, the film won over most critics and audiences, more than doubling its $50 million budget on the way to becoming A24's second highest grossing movie.
Would you photograph that moment if I got shot?
What do you think?
Maybe the film resonated with so many because it didn't take one side. Granted, you could argue Nick Offerman's president shares more in common with a certain somebody currently running for office. Yet the other side might believe the character represents another candidate. Either way, the film surprisingly unified viewers with its divisive themes.
I need a quote. Don't let him kill me. Yeah. That'll do.
Number 9, The Invisible Man.
He has figured out a way to be invisible. He is a world leader in the field of optics. I know that he could do this.
Considering how Universal dropped the ball with the Dark Universe, we weren't expecting much from an Invisible Man reimagining. We were shocked to discover not only how thrilling Leigh Whannell's film was, but how well the material translated to modern day. People are opening up about domestic violence now more than ever. Even when somebody gets away from their abusive partner, their presence can still linger. Invisible Man provides a haunting parallel as Cecilia, masterfully played by Elizabeth Moss, is tormented by an unseen yet all too real threat.
He what? He would hit you?
Amongst other things.
The technology behind the invisibility, while fictional, is also presented in a way that feels practical. Becoming a sleeper hit, The Invisible Man crept up on us in more than one way.
I have something that'll prove he's alive. I found it.
What do you have?
Number 8, Borat's subsequent movie film.
All I had left was my livestock. 2 pigs, 1 cow, and a daughter.
If a Borat sequel was released in 2007, we'd say the character was overexposed. If a sequel came out in 2017, we'd say it was too late. In a year like 2020, though, Borat's return seemed as appropriate as ever. Even then, people assumed that a subsequent movie film could never leave the same impact.
I feel bad because I was the one who put the baby in her.
You don't need to feel bad.
I was just trying to give my daughter pleasure, and next thing I know, there's a baby inside her.
Yet few comedies released this decade have done a better job of encapsulating the political zeitgeist. Part of that's because Sacha Baron Cohen and Maria Bakalova, playing Borat's daughter, again interact with real America, ranging from everyday MAGA supporters to disgraced presidential advisors. While Borat is more enlightened, the film is hardly politically correct, showing that you can still make an edgy comedy in this day and age.
Is she asking too many questions?
No, she's doing great. She'd make a very nagging wife.
No! If I were you, I would stick to marrying your cousins.
Number 7, CODA.
What's rude is how noisy you guys are.
CODA is the definition of a little movie that could, chugging its way to the summit of success. Centered on the only hearing member of a deaf family, CODA won over the Sundance crowd with its warmth, humor, and music, picking up several prizes.
Forget the words? Don't look at them. They're not going to help you.
Apple TV subsequently acquired Sean Heater's film for a record $25 million, guaranteeing it would find a wider audience. As award season rolled around, analysts thought CODA might get a few notices, but that would be the end of its journey. After winning Outstanding Performance by a Cast at SAG, though, people saw its potential to go much further. CODA just kept gaining momentum, culminating in 3 Oscars, including Best Picture. We couldn't sing this indie treasure higher praises. Number 6, Encanto.
I know it sounds a bit fantastical and magical, but I'm part of the family Madrigal.
An animated Disney musical with songs by Lin-Manuel Miranda sounds like a surefire home run, but Encanto had a fair deal working against it. It wasn't based on a pre-existing IP, and COVID continued to alienate moviegoers. Under these circumstances, the film performed as well as one could reasonably hope at the box office. It was on Disney Plus, however, where the miracle materialized.
It was my wedding day. It was our wedding day. We were getting ready and there wasn't a cloud in the sky. No clouds allowed.
We don't talk about Bruno exploded into a cultural phenomenon, but Encanto was far from a one-hit wonder, with every song achieving a level of notoriety. Beyond the soundtrack, the film inspired numerous conversations about mental health and representation. Encanto did so without forcing an agenda, getting its meaningful message across with lovable characters, stunning imagery, and sincerity.
It's a dream when we work as a team. You're so strong.
Yeah, but sometimes I cry.
So do I.
Number 5, Barbie.
I thought I might stay over tonight.
Why?
Because we're girlfriend-boyfriend.
To do what?
I'm actually not sure.
When news broke that Greta Gerwig was directing a Barbie movie, we let out an excited "what?" Nobody could have predicted that an auteur like Gerwig would choose something so mainstream like Barbie as her next project. We also never thought Warner Brothers or Mattel would grant Gerwig free rein to make a Barbie movie that acknowledges the brand's past controversies, with a PG-13 rating no less. The biggest question mark was whether this gamble would pay off. It did, with over $1 billion.
'Cause I'm just kidding. Anywhere else I'd be 10.
Gerwig found an unlikely balance appealing to Barbie's fans and haters, turning the latter into fans. The film's success was only made more surprising by the addition of Oppenheimer, resulting in a double feature that Hollywood may never be able to replicate.
Neutrons just mentioned other nuclei. Criticality, point of no return, massive explosive force. But this time, the chain reaction doesn't stop.
Number 4, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish.
Always on the lookout for a new lap cat. You will be safe there.
Lap cat? I am no lap cat, Doctor. I am Puss in Boots.
The sequel to a spin-off of a movie that came out over a decade earlier, DreamWorks must be desperate to milk our nostalgia. Well, yeah, but so is the rest of Hollywood. What sets Puss in Boots: The Last Wish apart is how it expanded upon every aspect of the franchise, from the animation style to fairy tale satire to the dramatic depth.
Trust me.
Easy, easy. You're gonna give yourself a hernia. Here, one more time, like this. Trust me.
What started as a sequel nobody thought needed to exist evolved into one of the decade's most visually innovative and thematically mature animated features. The film started slow at the box office, but in 9 Lives fashion, kept attracting audiences throughout the weeks, providing that positive word of mouth is still a powerful force in today's theatrical landscape.
Normally, I have a sword. It's like a whole thing, you know.
Pickles, you're Puss in Boots?
Not yet, but I will be.
I'll come with you.
Sorry, Pedro. Puss in Boots walks alone.
Number 3, Godzilla -1.
小山のような生物だったとしか。なんだよ。偉そうなこと言ってお前も何も分かってねえじゃねえか。これを見るまで私も半信半疑だったんです。ゴジラ。
Modern Godzilla movies have ranged from entertaining escapism to Matthew Broderick. Either way, the franchise had generally forgotten that Godzilla started as an allegory for the atomic bomb.
風船みたいに海底から立ち上がってるんだから。お互いの船に渡したケーブルにカッターをつけて機雷のワイヤーを切断するんだ。そうすると機雷が浮き上がってくるだろ。
Godzilla -1 recaptures the series' roots, presenting the king of the monsters in a more grounded light. What's more, it offered a personal story that had us emotionally invested in the humans, in turn making Godzilla more intimidating. We wouldn't just rank this among the best Godzilla films, but also the best recent war movies. While the spectacle doesn't overshadow the drama, the effects are nonetheless extraordinary. Bringing the franchise its first Oscar, the fact that this was accomplished on a budget of no more than $12 million set a new standard, and not just for Godzilla.
ほら。大丈夫。どこにも行かないから。
Number 2, Top Gun Maverick.
Come on, sweetheart, just a little more. Just a little.
Top Gun is a perennial 80s flick, although throughout the decades it became best known for the infamous volleyball scene and other erotic undertones. Top Gun Maverick seemed like evidence that the industry will make a legacy sequel out of anything. With the effects of COVID still felt, nobody expected Maverick would be the blockbuster that saved Hollywood. Nobody except maybe Tom Cruise, who fought to preserve the film's theatrical release.
It's not what I am. It's who I am. How do I teach that?
Even if I could teach it, it's not what Rooster wants.
Paramount owes Cruise a debt of gratitude as Maverick soared to nearly $1.5 billion and even scored a Best Picture Oscar nomination. While Cruise delivered on the exhilarating aerial sequences, Maverick caught us off guard with its story about the old guard passing the torch while still proving that they have more to offer.
Where am I?
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Wonka. Timothée Chalamet plus Paul King plus Roald Dahl equals surprisingly scrumdiddlyumptious.
You see, I'm something of a magician, inventor, and chocolate maker. And first thing tomorrow at the Gallery Gourmet, I plan to unveil my most astonishing creation yet.
Bad Boys for Life. Just when you thought the franchise was dead, it slapped back with this sequel.
You know, Mike, we got more time behind us than in front. It's time to make some changes, for real.
You can miss me with that. I'm living my best life.
You're dyeing your goatee, Mike.
What?
Sonic the Hedgehog. That ugly initial design is now a distant, disturbing memory.
You can talk. You're not here to abduct me, are you?
You abducted me!
Okay, that's a fair point.
Anyone but you. We'll never underestimate Sydney Sweeney and Glenn Powell's star power again.
I'm engaged now.
Good for you. Where you registered? I'll buy you a broomstick.
Smile. Keeping audiences screaming and executives smiling.
Look at me.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, Everything Everywhere All at Once.
I'm not your husband, and he's not the one you know. I'm another version of him from another life path, another universe. I'm here because we need your help.
By 2022, multiverse movies were nothing new. Some might even say they were growing redundant. That made it all the more astonishing when the Daniels delivered this jolt of originality. Living up to its title, this movie has everything: inventive martial arts, a heart-tugging mother-daughter relationship, a raccoon mimicking a beloved Pixar character, you name it. What may seem like a jumble of random genres, tones, and ideas beautifully comes together in a universal story about family, identity, and existence.
I will always want to be here with you.
For all the critical love it amassed, some feared whether or not the masses would embrace such a unique experience. The most pleasant surprise is just how hard everyone went for Everything Everywhere, turning it into A24's highest-grossing film and a Best Picture winner.
告诉你，如果有来生，我还是会选择和你一起报税，开心一点。
Which movie exceeded your expectations the most this decade thus far? Let us know in the comments.
You shoot me down, but I won't fall. I am titanium.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.